Hi everyone, this is Mimi from Mimi's Paper Crafting, and today we are making a gardening journal. It was my boyfriend's idea, and he gave me some little notes to follow. So here's my note. Oh my gosh, my phone screen is really dirty. Here are my little notes. I'm going to laminate the cover. He said he wants it 8 by 6. It's going to include plain paper for notes, have 7 dividers for March, April, May, June, July, August. I know that it's the end of March already, but he insisted on having March. And then a winter prep section. We're going to have 2 pockets per section, and then every section is going to have 7 pages. Prep for the months, weeks 1, 2, 3, and 4, other notes, and next month notes. So let's get into it. I am going to probably speed this up a little bit because it's going to most likely take me a while. So I will go into voiceover, and also it's going to be a cinch journal. I'm going to use a spiral binding, and yeah, that's it. So let's get into it. And like I said, I'm going to speed it up and then I'll do a voiceover. Off camera, I cut these papers down to size. These pages just came from an old sketchbook from Michael's. These are the papers I want to use as my cover. When I asked my boyfriend what size he thought I should make, he pointed to my April journal and said, that size is good. So 8 by 6. I'm just going to cut down these pages to 8 by 6, and the inside papers have already been cut. I really like this paper, this collection kit. It is Echo Park. I don't know if I said that in the beginning. I'm doing the voiceover the next day. I don't know. I'm sorry if I repeated myself. And now I'm just going to go through and find what I'm going to use as dividers. I'm looking on my phone to see what we discussed. I believe I make 7 dividers. The only thing I'm not going to use for a divider are the ones with the cut aparts on them. If I can use cut aparts for something else, I like to use them for something else. And there is plenty of paper to use for dividers. So I did not need to use the ones with the cut aparts. Now, all of these, I cut 6. I cut all the 12 by 12 papers in half at 6. That way, I still have the 6 by 12 piece left for another project. And later on, you'll see I do use the leftover 3 inches, like 4 inches I have from cutting these down to then 8 inches. So that's all I'm doing. I did speed this up 2 times. And I believe the next part will be sped up 3 times. So you don't have to sit and watch for too long. So now I'm trimming it down to 8. I'm taking all the papers and trimming it down to 8. These are so pretty. Look at the drawings of those old spices. So nice. It makes a perfect little garden journal. The plan is my dad keeps a big garden in our backyard. I mean, it's not huge. It's a little bit bigger than normal. And we also have herbs and flower gardens and all that. So the plan is, and he also grows all of his plants from seeds. So right now in the living room, we have, I think, pepper seeds planted. I think they take the longest. And he has grow lights and he has this whole setup. I will post a picture if I can remember in my community tab. But yeah, so the plan is for him to just keep track of the things that he's doing, make any notes that he needs to know for next year or next time or whatever. Okay, so here I'm taking these bigger cut aparts, and this is what I'm going to use as pockets. I wanted to add pockets in case he needed to add seed packets or receipts or anything in there, then he'd have a little pocket to put them in. I was originally going to do 2 pockets, but I felt 1 pocket was enough. Because if he wants to put photos, I can put photos for him on the divider. And then wherever there's extra room. And then when he's done for the year, it'll be like a little keepsake for him. So I'm just cutting what was left over to size to fit these cut aparts to make them into pockets. It's a great way to use up these cut aparts in a journal. And now I'm just going to go through and see if I can find what I like best with each cut apart. I mean, honestly, it's a collection kit, so all the pages do work together. But these, I just wanted to have the perfect ones, and I ended up changing that one. I don't know why I thought orange and orange was perfect. What was I thinking? I don't know. So now I'm just going to take, I believe it's a 1-inch punch, I don't know, and cut up a little thumb notch. Glue down the 3 sides and match these together. I don't know if I said it in the first part of this video where I introduced the project, but this is going to be a cinch bound little notebook. So think something like this works perfect with a cinch bound. And cinches are made by We Are Makers. Wait, did I whisper that? I'm sorry. Buy something. Yeah, no, did I whisper that again? Yeah. In my opinion, don't go with a cinch. Look into getting, if you would want something to make spiral bound, look into getting something like a Zutter or something like that. Buying the cinch is a regret of mine. I don't think A, it punches right all the time, and B, it's really hard to find spirals and the twin wire loops to go with the cinch. You have to buy We Are Memory Keeper spirals. We Are Memory Makers. We Are Makers. Oh my gosh, their name change is driving me nuts. The We Are Makers spirals you have to buy. I have not found generic spirals. If you have found generic spirals for the cinch, please let me know in the comments because I have to order some soon and I do not want to have to pay the price for the We Are Makers. You can buy generic twin loops, though. I only use the generic. I do not use the We Are Makers. They're expensive. We're crafters. We want all the tools. We want all the paper. We want all the stuff. We don't want to spend a fortune on it because we want all of the stuff. There's no need for it to be that expensive. Okay. So now that that's done, I'm just going to go through and once again, here, I'm erasing. I was going to laminate the cover and I erased that and put, I don't feel like taking out the laminator. I did not feel like taking out the laminator. Yesterday was a long day. So I'm not going to, and it's very thick paper. It doesn't really need to be laminated. So what I'm going to do here is go through and just make sure everything's facing the right way. We have all of the papers. Everything's correct. So that's all I'm doing right now. And I think I ended up having to make another divider. See, I didn't count correctly. Oh no, I had to cut more pages. I had an extra divider and I'm like, why do I have an extra divider? Because I did not have enough pages. And that's, my friends, is why you take notes on a project you want to make. And also, by the way, I really am just flying by the seat of my pants here. I just knew that I asked my boyfriend, I'm like, what should I make now? And he's like, can you make this? And I said, sure. And I asked him what he wanted, and then I started crafting. So here's that paper that I just took out of a sketchbook from Michael's. I'm just going to tear it, the pages out, cut them to size, and the scraps I put in my scrap bin, they are great for making tags or tabs, stuff like that. Don't throw away big clumps of scraps. And this you get a lot of scraps from when I cut this down. It was a big sketchbook. I got my niece a sketchbook the one year for Christmas and it was like buy one, get one free. So of course you got to get the free one. So that's why I had an extra. Okay, there we go. And then I'm going to find where to put the pockets. Just going to go through and put what pocket I want with what. I didn't notice that even matched the back. That's funny. And that's all I'm going to do here till I grab the cinch. Here's the cinch. I'm just going to show you, since it's a full whole size, you just put that blue piece in at the top and punch. Now that everything is punched with the cinch, yes, I did that off camera. That is obnoxious to watch. I just try to line everything up. I just want to make sure the pockets are going to be down. So I kind of knock it on the side and then I go through quickly lifting up to make sure that the pockets are all the way down. You don't want to wind this cinch wire, the spiral wire through and then realize that you missed something, because it's a pain. This is sped up 3.5 times. This was so thick, it was so hard for me to get through. When I was done, my hand hurt so bad. It was so hard to get this through because it was so thick and so much paper. Usually I don't have a problem. I don't know what the problem was with this one, but yeah, it's a pain. Like I said, this was sped up 3.5 times. It felt like it took an hour to get this through. I mean, I know it didn't, but it felt like it took forever. So I just slowly wind it through, and then when I get to the bottom, I will go through and, first of all, I cut. If you have a wire cutter, use a wire cutter. I lost my wire cutter, and I have yet to buy a new one. So I'm trying multiple different pliers that I have, and I finally just grab a scissor. Yep, you can cut through these with a scissor. I lost my wire cutter and have yet to buy a new one. So I'm just flipping through just to make sure everything got attached, and then I'm going to take these needle nose pliers and I'm going to bend the end. If you know of a better way to do this, please let me know down in the comments. This is what I do, and it's a struggle. I mean, there's got to be a tool or an easier way to do this. I just bend the end, and eventually I think I do it off camera. I just bend it over the other one and like kind of squeeze it closed. That's how I do mine. It doesn't bother me, but there's got to be an easier way. Okay, so now I want to make tabs for each divider. So I'm just taking what was left from making the cover and punching out 7 hexagons. That's all, 7 hexagons, and then I'm going to go through, use my Barely Art glue, and glue them on the front of each divider. And I just alternate like front cover, back cover paper. I'm sorry I am off screen. I did not realize I was off screen. It happens, even with my computer there for me to see. I'm also very sorry if you can hear my dog snoring. He's sitting on my lap snoring. But yep, that's all I do. One for each divider, and then I pull out a sticker pack and label one for each month. By the way, I gave this to my dad and he really did like it. So who knows if he's going to use it, but I made it and that's all that counts, correct? I think so. So look how good those tabs look. Looks very good on the side, and you can easily flip to the month. So this sticker pack is from Michael's. It's a recollection. And I'm just looking to see if there is a small enough month stickers. So I flipped through a couple times. Let me tell you, I think I might just they were right there in front of my face. Literally. Then I see that they're too big, so I take it off and I trim it, and then I just start trimming it before I put it on. Because the way I'm doing it just does not work. Yep, there I go. And then I had a pile of sticker guts on the side. And I'm off camera again. I'm very sorry. I could have swore I was on camera when I was checking when I was recording. That's strange. I think though, see, you can see my mount for my camera, the black thing in the middle of my table, and I think I knocked my camera out of place. I think that's what happened. I knocked my camera because usually I make it so you can't see the camera mount. It happens. I'm literally just putting stickers, and this one I was looking for something that said winter. I did put a section in the back. I did a March through August, and then I did a winter so he could have like winter prep. Now, I was going to use stickers and put stickers on the top, but I just hand wrote everything. Prep, week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. I don't remember what the other one was. Notes for next month, I think. Yep, I'm checking my phone again to see what it was supposed to be. Yep, next month. And then there's a spare page in there for anything that he might need. That's all I do with these blank pages, and then he can write down whatever he needs. When does he need to plant? When does he need to transplant? What is he planting when? Does he need it's the back where I put down some other things for him for next year, for prepping for next year's garden already. Yeah, he preps well in advance. He actually didn't do a lot of gardening the past few years, but he had surgery on his spine. He had that mild surgery, it's called. It's a laser surgery on his spine, and it didn't help his back pain. He still has his back pain, but there was so much pain in his legs that relieved a lot of the pain in his legs. But his back pain from breaking his back when he was in the military, he still has. But the leg pain, it helped that, which he knew going in. Oh my gosh, my dog is now snoring so loud. I'm so sorry if you can hear that. He's shaking my entire leg. I can't read what any of that says. I hope you can read it. I think I did like what seeds he needs to buy, what seeds he still has left, what kind of supplies he might need, and then I left a blank one. And now we're just going to find something, and I used 2 cut parts that ended up being right next to each other. Sorry, it's once again off camera. I had to see to cut. And then that's really it. So I thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you got an idea for a little journal of your own if you garden. This would be great for plants too, and deciding what you want to do for your flower gardens, not just a food garden. Let me know down below in the comments. Is this something, do you garden? Let me know if you garden and what you do garden. Thanks for joining me, like I said, and please like, subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video. I'm just going to let this play to the end, and you guys have a great day.